When it comes to our finances, for many of us, 2025 sucked like a black hole. However, despite that suctitude, my generous patrons still supplemented my channel expenditures to the tune of $479.71. So, what did I spend your money on this year? Let's start with video games. While I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter, I'm not keen on spending more than $50 on a single game, so I earmarked 20 of your Patreon dollars to subsidize my purchase of the $70 Monster Hunter Wilds, and to help justify it, I dedicated a Sunday stream to playing it. I also picked up Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster for a series of Patreon reward videos that I'm still working on. Later this month I'll have a video discussing my thoughts on Suikoden 1, followed by a Sunday stream dedicated to its sequel, and finally, another video of my thoughts on Part 2. I also bought Hi-Fi Rush to play on a Sunday stream, and of course I picked up Trails of Cold Steel 2, which I've been streaming for most of the year, as well as Cold Steel 3, which will probably start in the next month or two. As far as AV equipment, I purchased a mic filter and sound damper to help improve my audio, as well as a 20-foot USB-A to USB mini cable to replace the chain of 3 shorter cables I was using for my mic. Now my audio doesn't randomly cut out, huzzah! And finally, I bought a new tripod and teleprompter housing. Ooh, extravagant! Well, it was less a frivolous indulgence and more a matter of necessity. The head on my previous tripod snapped off and dumped my old teleprompter housing on the floor, busting it up pretty good. So it was either memorize my scripts and record them while holding the camera in front of my face, or investing about $200 in new equipment. Earlier this year, I was privileged to provide the speaking and singing voice of Bonsai for Raph Scrap's cover of Be Prepared from The Lion King. In my behind-the-scenes video, I dressed up as Bonsai, and that cosplay cost about $50. Then there's Movie Mandates, the podcast I do with my sister. When a mandated movie is not on streaming, or streaming on a service we don't subscribe to, we rent it. This year, we rented 11 movies, which ran us a little over $40. And finally, this year's Extra Life Charity Marathon. I purchased almost $200 of games for the show, although one of them I didn't play because Kelly couldn't be here, so that one will have to wait for next year. And of course, the food budget, which ran about $130, a bit higher than you might expect, but we had a gimmick where we were making adult versions of childhood favorites like boxed Kraft mac and cheese. The adult version of that was made with nearly $30 of cheese. And that's the lot. Altogether, that comes out to $800.79, and with your 2025 Patreon dollars totaling $479.71, that means over half of my channel expenditures this year were covered by you generous lot. At least, that's what would have happened if you huge-hearted humans hadn't met this year's Extra Life funding goal. I promised to donate the balance of my Patreon monies if we raised $4,000, and we did just that, so the $416.08 that was in my account in early November went to Rady Children's Hospital. That leaves the $63.63 that's been added since the marathon to help cover this year's channel expenses. Man, I'm glad I wasn't in the 10% of my department that was laid off this year. So, a most sincere thank you to everyone for your immense generosity and support. I hope 2026 treats you well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to spend your money on Claire Obscure Expedition 33 to play on an upcoming Sunday stream for another Patreon reward video. See you then.